Here's the local press coverage on what Governor Glenn Youngkin had to do today. Dateline Richmond. Governor Glenn Youngkin said today that the state is preparing an aid package for Virginians losing their jobs in the Trump administration's gutting of the federal workforce. But he said the cuts are necessary. In his first extended public remarks on the cuts, Youngkin told reporters that he feels deep concern for those who are anxious about their employment future as the White House purges people at almost every agency. Hundreds of workers at the FAA lost their jobs over the weekend, for example, and a sweeping elimination of workers ahead of a Tuesday deadline affected map makers and cancer researchers and FEMA staffers, among thousands more cut over the past few weeks. But Youngkin defended the Trump administration's actions, which disproportionately affect Virginia as one of the top states in the country for federal employment and spending, with more than 140,000 federal workers. Even one of Youngkin's signature achievements, a computer science laboratory high school in Richmond, has been touched by the cuts with cancellation of a federal grant for a teacher residency program. The governor said he wanted it known that, quote, "We understand and we're here to help." He said the state, quote, "will have the ability to support federal workers through any job dislocation." But the governor declined to provide details about what kind of help the state is prepared to offer. He said that when the plan is ready, quote, "I want to communicate it in a package. We'll have a good one for you." We'll get back to me. It'll be, I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be good. I don't know. It'll be great. We're going to come up with something. In the meantime, please report that I said that I support Donald Trump 1,000%, and also that I am working to figure out how to clean up the giant deliberate mess he is making of people's lives and our economy in this state, for which I have a lot of empathy. Say that too. Even though I definitely 1,000% support this infliction of pain on people who live in my state, and even on myself, even though we've done nothing wrong. Can you get all that in the lead? Thank you, sir. May I have another? Can you put that as the caption? Did I mention that Virginia has elections this year? In just a few months? You feel like your Republican politicians in Virginia are looking out for you? So we're going to keep watching this dynamic. Republicans who can't actually bear what Trump is doing to their own states and to their own constituents, but they're too scared to say they're against it. Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska asking for exemptions to Trump's cuts and actions, specifically for Indian tribes in Alaska. Republican Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa asking for an exemption for Iowa farmers to the tariffs on Canada. Republican Florida Congresswoman Maria Elvira Salazar asking for an exemption to the indiscriminate deportation policies. Republican Senator Katie Britt asking for an exemption on the massive cuts to scientific and medical research, saying, you couldn't possibly mean Alabama for those cuts, could you? Not Alabama. You want these cuts elsewhere, right? Republican Senator Susan Collins of Maine saying the same thing, saying surely those cuts don't apply to the universities and labs in Maine. She said if it applies to the ones in Maine, that would be, quote, devastating. So certainly they don't mean Maine, right? They couldn't. Republicans just eating it in their home districts and their home states as their party's leader does things that are devastating to those states and to those constituents.